Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. It depends on what time you are viewing this video. I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Gerald Case-Blanchard, and I am your instructor this semester for MUSI 211 Music Appreciation. There are a couple things I wanted to touch base with all of you before you begin your modules at the beginning of the course. A few things you really need to understand. One, this is an online 100% asynchronous course, which means weekly you will be given a series of assignments that you must complete, but you complete it within your own time schedule. You don't have to meet at a certain time each day for the class. This is your opportunity. You pick a time that is most flexible for you and your schedule. I know many of you have other courses or you work full-time, have family situations. So the flexibility of an online class is very helpful for most people in that circumstance. But with that comes the responsibility. You only have a certain window of time that you must complete your assignments. So please review your course syllabi for specific details, but in general, every Sunday at 5 p.m., I will open the next week's module. You are required to have your assignments completed and fully submitted by the Friday of each week. So for example, if I open it on Sunday, it needs to be submitted by Friday. Now, if for some reason, you had to work and you didn't have time throughout the course of the week to get it done, or you have been busy or on vacation, what have you, you have an automatic no ask extension provided to you, which will give you until the following Sunday at 5 p.m. So if it's due on Friday of this week, and you were not able to get it in, there will be no penalties or anything, providing you get it in by 5 o'clock on Sunday, the following Sunday, which means you get a 2-day extension. After that, there is no exceptions for any further extensions, no matter what the circumstances are. So I would encourage you to pick a day during the week to sort of set aside as your opportunity to get your work done. But as I said before, if you can't make that Friday deadline, it is absolutely okay. Know that you already have a safety net embedded in the schedule, which will then give you until Sunday at 5 o'clock, but it must be in by Sunday at 5 p.m. Some people have to do their work over the weekend. So that's why I added that automatic extension. So that's one thing. The other thing I want to encourage folks to do is please review your syllabi for the schedule. You will only see when you log into your Moodle course, the module available for that week. You won't see what's coming up after that. However, if you look at your course syllabi, you have the whole semester schedule, but you will not be able to access any of those assignments in advance. And that is for a number of reasons. Just like we build a foundation in a home before you start building up the house and putting in furnishings and all of that, this is how the course is designed. There are specific activities and things that you need to know and understand fully in order to do the next thing coming down the pike. But big picture, I also want you to understand you will have a final video presentation that you must complete by the end of the semester, and everything that you do throughout the course of the semester leading up to that leads you up to that final presentation. In small parts and large parts, it's really geared on research and how to find resources, how to make assessment and value judgments on things that you view, listen to, and have discussions with your peers. Commenting and feedback, all of those things are very helpful when it comes time for you at the end of the semester for your what I like to call the compass project, but your final presentation. So please understand, you will not be able to see things in advance. In previous semesters, I've had some students ask, well, can you open up the module for next week early? Unfortunately, I cannot. I need to make sure that we're all moving together from week to week. This way, no one gets left behind in that process. And as a teacher who has to grade nearly 100 of your projects every week, that also helps me have time, the time I need to get through and thoroughly review your projects. And if there's something I need to catch before I finalize the grade for that activity, I have a little bit of wiggle room to reach out to you and say, hey, you didn't get this done. Make sure you get this done before the deadline closes, which leads me to my next point. I would encourage all of you, strongly encourage all of you to never wait until the day of an assignment being done to try to get it done, because we are dealing with technology. Technology sometimes will fail us. So if you wait until the last minute or the last moment and you're trying to get your assignment uploaded or something isn't working, your internet went out, you've just put yourself at a bad disadvantage, because there's nothing I can do at that point if you've hit that deadline. And you can email me, you can explain it to me. That's wonderful. But if it is at that deadline, that extension deadline, now if it's the Friday deadline, unfortunately the help desk, which is where I generally send people for technology issues, because they're experts in it. I'm not. I have a little bit of skill, but I'm in no way an expert in technology. But if it's on a Friday, we got to be mindful of the time, because I think the help desk closes at 5 o'clock. So, but that still gives us a little bit of wiggle room. Whereas if it's over the weekend, we're at the mercy of somebody just happening to check their email if you've sent them an email through their email portal about your technology issue, which is the main reason why I strongly encourage everyone to never, ever, ever, ever wait until the deadline to try to get your assignments in, because we just do not know what will happen with technology. Let's see, what else do I need to touch on here? The rubrics. There are two types of rubrics. One you will see, and then the other you will see in the all things dealing with your final presentation. Those are two separate rubrics. The big rubric that is on the cover page of your Moodle, that is so you know what the expectations are for your peer-to-peer responses. So here's an example. If you are responding to a writing assignment or activity where you have to evaluate or talk about or give feedback or comment to a peer, for you to say, hey, I really like what you said about this band. I like them too. That's not a college level response. That is a response that will not get you very many points, out of the allocated amount. A better response would be, hello, Michael or Renee, or whatever the student's name is that you are commenting on. I found great value in what you had to say on this particular topic. And then tell us specifically those things that you connected with. So when I'm reading those comments, or that student is reading those comments, they get something out of it. Just a general, hey, it was really cool, I liked it. That is not going to give you the points. If you want to earn those points, and this is a 200 level course, so if you want to earn those points, you really have to put some thought into your responses, just like you would want people to put thought into their responses when they are evaluating or giving you feedback on your writing, because we grow together. Okay, so really take your time. Do not rush through these things. And I'm bringing this up because, in my 26 years of teaching, I've heard it all, I've seen it all. And of course, I will inevitably have to have a conversation with the student who is not really writing at a college level. So you want to take that time and think about your spelling, grammar, punctuation, of course, those things are really important. And more specifically, the focus of what it is you're trying to say. So this way, the student who is viewing it, or me as the instructor that is viewing it, we understand the tenor of your statement, what you want us to know about what you are trying to say. Those things are very, very key. And most significantly is you have a point to what you're saying. So think of it as a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So when you're responding, you're almost telling a story. So have a beginning point, a middle, which is sort of the high point of what you're saying. Here are the key elements, the things that you are really connecting with, and then the conclusion, the ending. So think of that 3-point system, and you'll have a very good opportunity and chance of getting maximum point values in your responses. And really go back and review that syllabi, or not syllabi, the rubric often. You will find that to be very, very helpful. And I think that is everything other than the things that are already obviously on your Moodle cover sheet. You will need to have a Flipgrid account. So please make sure that you log in to Flipgrid, create an account. You must use your first and last name, no nicknames, because if I cannot find you when I'm putting those assignments in, you will get a 0. So that is very, very important, okay? You must have your first and last name. Secondly, you will need to have your access code in order to do the Connect assignments. That is your textbook for this course. You not having access to Connect is going to be detrimental to your grade, because that means you cannot do the assignments. And if those assignments are not done, I will not reopen those activities at a later date. So make sure that you have your textbook. My suggestion is to order it, order the online version of the textbook. That way you can get it instantly. You can download the information. You have immediate access. They'll give you that immediate access code. If you get the hard copy of the textbook from the bookstore, there must be a code in the inside or back of the textbook that will give you access to Connect. You do need to have that code in order to complete these assignments and activities in Connect. Thirdly, you absolutely 100% must join our Teams group. That is how I communicate with you. I will a few times a semester send out an email here or there about, important key things, but day-to-day activities, changes, extra credit value points, or what I like to call bonus opportunities, general comments, questions are all to be put into the Teams group. I do not want folks emailing me general questions, because you may have this question, but then there might be 10 or 15 other people who have a similar question. By putting it in Teams, I can then respond to you, and everyone else can see what that response is. So therefore, we're all getting value out of your question, and we're all going to get the answers that we are seeking. So that is really important. If it is something specific to you, meaning you, in terms of being unique and a problem that you are having, that is not something of a general nature, not, like how do I post in Moodle using a video? That's a general question. A question specific to you would be, I see in my grade, I had a blah, da, 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 da. That's something specific to you, not to the general group. So once again, if it's a general question, please post it in Teams. If it is something unique to you and you need a response, then email me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I generally will check the Teams group multiple times a day. And I typically will not check after 7 o'clock. So if you post something on a Friday after 7 o'clock, I will not see it until Sunday when I go in to open up the next module. And when I do that, I generally will pop into our Teams group to see if there are any pressing questions from over the weekend to answer if people need that. So plan your questions. If it's an emergency, you can email it to me, but once again, if it's over the weekend, I do not check my work email over the weekend. So if it's an emergency situation, you don't want to email it to me and then I don't check it until Monday. It is far better and more efficient if you post it in Teams or send me a message in Teams if it's of a private nature, because I do have Teams on my phone. So will give me a little notification that there is a message pending, and I will check that if I have a chance. Okay, so hopefully you all will understand those things. Those are just the general overview technical things that we want to make sure that we have in place. But all this information and more is on Moodle, and it is a lot of it is also in your syllabi. So think of your syllabi as a resource and Moodle as the go-to place for all journal information. And then of course, Teams is where we communicate with one another. The last thing, because I know this is a very long video message, but this is based on frequently asked questions. So I want to make sure that we all have the same information. If you are in a situation where there is some difficulty with you being able to access anything, you're clicking a link and it's just not working, or you find a mistake that I may have made, please don't wait until the last minute to notify me. If you notice something is missing, like I just caught something today myself, where I indicate to you if this particular link does not work, then cut and paste the URL. And I see there's no URL. There is a lot of information that I'm compiling and trying to keep organized so you guys have access. So if you find something, please don't hesitate to shoot me a quick message saying, hey, Dr. CB, I noticed that you indicated this, but it's not there. Or, here's a dead link that I noticed isn't working. Then I will make sure that I try to either repair it. And if it cannot be repaired, because sometimes if you're using a third-party site, they may have taken down a link. I will, of course, replace it with one that is of equal value. Okay. And I believe that is it. If I think of anything else, I will post it in Teams. Otherwise, thank you. And I'm looking forward to working with each of you and getting to know each of you. Obviously, doing something that is online 100% and we don't meet once a week together, it's kind of hard to get to know each other. But I will have my Zoom link available to all of you. So pop in to say hi, or with any questions that you have during my weekly office hours. I have 7 of them each week. That is 7 fingers. I can see we're kind of weird, but yeah, pop in. And this is how I can get to know you, and we can talk in real time via Zoom, or if you are on campus during those same office hours, with the exclusion of Friday, I am in my office at the same time. So I will be doing my Zoom meeting in my office. So you can either log on to Zoom or you can come to the office. The one thing I do ask everybody to do is make an appointment. This way, if you need to speak with me, for an extended problem or what have you, then I can block out that time specific to you and not worry about others, popping in. I can block the entry, and people can be in the waiting room. And when we're done, then I will, let people in one at a time to have those private discussions. Or you can stop by my office. As I said, it's the same thing. If I'm in my office with another student, you will be expected to wait or leave me a message and come back. But if you make an appointment, then that time is your time, and I value your time. So appointments are usually the best method. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great start to the semester, and I am so looking forward to hopefully getting to see your wonderful work and see your progress. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.